As I stood outside the door of an office, not knowing what was on the other side, I searched for reasons to go inside. Because I searched, I found them. I told myself, success is achieved only by those who try. When there is nothing to lose and everything to gain by trying, by all means, try it. The idea made sense, but it still didn't address the emotional resistance to walking through a door and risking rejection by a total stranger. Fortunately for me, I hit upon another self-motivator that I use to this day. Do it now. I have so cultivated that three-word phrase that has become an inseparable part of myself. Everyone who knows me knows those words, and has probably heard me use them on more than one occasion. The value of enthusiasm. I also learned something else during those early years: the value of enthusiasm. I knew that if someone was going to buy something from me, I would have to be sold on the product myself. I would have to be convinced that I was selling them something they needed, and at a fair price. I would have to excite them about my product or service through my infectious enthusiasm. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. Andrew Carnegie knew its value well. He told Napoleon Hill that the reason he paid Charles Schwab $1 million a year to run his steel mills was Schwab's ability to arouse the enthusiasm of workers. Schwab himself said, "A man can succeed at almost anything for which he has unlimited enthusiasm." My personal discovery about enthusiasm is that it can be taught. Anyone can learn how to generate it within themselves. In fact, the definition implies that it must come from within. The word itself comes from the Greek words theos, God, and in. Most of us have an innate timidity that must be overcome before we can achieve success in sales. I found that the only way I could overcome that frightened feeling was by mastering control of my voice. I then discovered that voice control was the key to the whole process of developing enthusiasm. I discovered that no prospective client could tell I was sweating and trembling on the inside when I employed a commanding, enthusiastic tone of voice. This discovery led me to 5 rules that I have since used and trained thousands of others to use to great advantage. 1. Talk loudly. Speak up so others can hear you and clearly see what they perceive to be a self-confident individual. 2. Talk rapidly and concentrate on your subject. Maintain eye contact with your subject to inspire confidence and keep your thoughts in order. 3. Pause and emphasize. Hesitate where there is a comma or a natural break and stress important words. 4. Keep a smile in your voice. A gruff or unfriendly tone will soon kill enthusiasm. You make your mind think you are cheerful when you keep a smile. 5. Modulate your voice. A monotonous delivery is boring and objectionable. Lower your voice from time to time so your listener has to strain to hear you. Then abruptly raise your voice on a few key words before returning to your normal pitch. Although these are simple rules, they employ a well-known psychological principle. Emotions can be controlled by action. You can be enthusiastic about everything you do. When you shake hands with someone, do it with enthusiasm. When you talk on the phone, work in a cheerful thought. Send a feeling of vitality across the wires to make the person on the other end feel better for having talked to you. Enthusiasm is like a pump. First you have to prime it, but once it is flowing, it goes right on flowing. Practice priming your own enthusiasm and watch it flow magically from others. You've got to prime the pump. You must have faith and believe. You've got to give of yourself, for you're worthy to receive. Drink all the water you can hold. Wash your face, cool your feet, but leave the bottle full for others. Thank you kindly, Desert Pete. From the folk song, Desert Pete. The power of the subconscious. Although I didn't fully realize it at the time, I was beginning to employ the technique of autosuggestion to get myself going. Words are far more than a collection of characters in a language.